Well, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you're here. Why not relax and listen to a story or two? It's our vagabond story from our first RV renovation to getting legal to actually getting to travel a bit. By this time, the Wheelie House renovation is complete. Well, hopefully complete. As the English sage said long ago, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. The time has come to check out a rig and see if it really works out. We started out with some day trips to the beach. Warren Dunes State Park along the shore of Lake Michigan is only a few miles from our apartment there in Niles. Long ago, melting ice stacked up several great sand dunes along the east side of the lake. Cottonwood trees grow there now, and calling the area something called perched dunes. They can rise up to about 400 or so feet above the shore of the lake. These cottonwood trees sort of stabilize things. We had camped there nearly 3 years ago in the rain. It's where our renovation project began with a very leaky roof. Now we're back to see how our renovations have actually worked out. We decided on a few little day trips. It's easy. It's a good thing to check. It's nice to hang out at the lakeshore, relaxing in the Wheelie House, maybe frying some pancakes, taking walks and skipping stones. And it's a great way to see if we like what we've got. There are many questions to ask. Some of those we even thought of. Ideas to ponder, questions to research. We thought of a tow. You know, those tow vehicles? Do we want one? Was it worth the trouble towing a car behind us? On our first camping trip, we drove two cars, our car and the Wheelie House. The trip, that's not really a trip that's a good test, but it did make us wonder. What about some sort of GPS system? We bought a little GPS unit, but we didn't like using it. The phones work as GPS systems, but only when there's good connectivity. We thought about other options. We could use Google Maps in the offline mode, or maybe maps.me. Perhaps Copilot would be best. We'll have to try some navigation systems and see what works best. Another question, does the itty-bitty, teeny-weeny wheelhouse oven really work? Or is it just an itty-bitty, teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini that just gets cold and doesn't do anything? We tried some baking. We made cookies, I made some bread. It turns out that the little oven does work, but it's really helpful to have a small little pizza stone in there. That way the cookies come out cooked correctly on both sides rather than raw on the top and black on the bottom. Also, using a little pizza stone with a cast iron fry pan, and you get pretty good bread out of it too. We learned that the Wheelie House is about the right size for us. We can buzz in and buzz out without noticeable trouble. The camper works with or without this slide out being pushed out. When we visited the beach, we usually left the slide out in. It works just fine for us. Kind of makes me wonder why I was so sure that we needed a slide out in the first place. We did have some folding chairs we thought would work great in the Wheelie House. When the weather was warm, it would be wonderful to set these chairs outside by the lake and relax and enjoy. Our first folding chairs turned out to not be so good, however. So it's back to the chair drawing board. Other things worked out just fine. Dumping the black and gray tanks seemed to work out without a worry. The supposedly very good flexible hose we got actually worked as advertised. I ordered 2 of those flexible hoses, but so far I've only ever used one of them. During one time when we were dumping, there was a little old stone stuck in the dump gasket. When I started dumping, there was a great big leak. Luckily, it was easy enough to close the tank, reseat the gasket, and get everything nice and tight. Live and learn. The electrical system seemed to work more or less as we hoped. The solar system was something of a question, but when I tried the solar system, we got a charge. That's good enough. The generator works just like it should, and the AC comes on, and of course the lights are on. Other systems seem to work as advertised as well. The fridge, hot water heater, the furnace, the catalytic heater, all of those things worked. On the other hand, the freshwater pump kept running for no good reason. I finally replaced the pump. After that, it worked just like it was supposed to. Wendy started working out what we should take in the kitchen. We tried a couple of kitchen loadings to see just how it would work. After weighing all of the dishes and the clothes and the garage stuff, we learned that we had enough weight left over so we could carry cast iron cookware. That was very nice. Wendy also started working on the cabinets for our clothing. We wanted to keep what we wanted and not have what we didn't want. I spent many times heading to Goodwill, mostly once a week for nearly a year, it seems. All of that work is important, though. We wanted to keep what we like to use and not lug around a bunch of useless detritus following up our storage and making it hard to find the stuff we want. How heavy are we? Well, there's a weigh scale at a truck stop just a couple miles from the apartment. We used that scale several times, making sure that we were under the weight limit of the Wheelie House. We'd cut quite a bit of stuff out of the Wheelie House. All that heavy metal for the unused seatbelt system, all of the weight in the bunk bed that we took out, all of the heavy dark molding. It actually weighed a lot. The captain's chair was gone. Several other fixtures had given away. It seems like we saved nearly 500 pounds doing all that, based on going to the weigh station. That was pretty nice. We visited the beach several times, testing and trying and experimenting on the Wheelie House. All of that was fun and work too, I guess. But it convinced us that it was time to take a longer shakedown cruise. But that's another story.